His name, Vivek Ramaswamy. You know him. Age 38, born August 9th, 1985. He made a pile of dough by founding the Rovant Services, a pharmaceutical company, in 2014. In fact, he had capital gains of $37 million in 2015 after he sold part of his company. So Mr. Ramaswamy, I know I'm going to have trouble saying that name all throughout the show, is a wealthy man. And now he wants to get into public service. So he was born in Cincinnati, that area. He attended Xavier High School there, Catholic school, Jesuit. He was class valedictorian, went on to Harvard, summa cum laude in biology. The man is super smart, maybe a genius. Then he went to Yale Law School. This guy is ultra intelligent. Then, as I said, he founded this company, he made a pile of dough in business, and he got out of the business and into politics. So he made an impression in debate. I think everybody would understand that. His polling average, according to Real Clear Politics, is 7.6%. He has no chance to win the nomination, but he's building up his profile for maybe 4 years down the road, whatever it may be. Now, Ramaswamy is shrewd. First of all, he is a Trump supporter. Go.
I did say he's the best president of the 21st century. From George Bush to Barack Obama to Joe Biden to Donald Trump, I think it's not even close. Who was the best of those presidents? In my book, I judge by results. That being said, I believe I can take the America First agenda even further than Donald Trump did.
All right, so that's respectful to Trump. The MAGA people won't hate Vivek, and he goes on his way. The reason that he's getting some kind of traction is because many Americans, maybe most, are tired of the old politicians. All right, Mike Pence, Chris Christie, Nikki Haley, they all come under that, and it may be unfair, under that tent. They're tired of it. Now, Trump, he's a maverick. He's outside that. So he doesn't fall under that tent because he's not really a politician, Trump. He's a populist. Anyway, Ramaswamy knows that. Roll it.
The truth is I'm an outsider. I'm not a professional politician. I think we have a choice between super PAC puppets who are being propped up with prepped lines and millions of dollars to go along with it, versus, in my case, I'm an outsider. I think of myself as a patriot who speaks the truth.
Super PAC puppets. Okay. That's the system. And if Ramaswamy gets into a position where he is competing for the presidential nomination, he'll have super PACs too. I don't know if he'll be a puppet or not. That depends on the individual. So there's no doubt. And I, as you know, if you watch the No Spin News and listen to it every night, I hesitated jumping in on the analysis of this man until I could see where he was going. All right, could see how he held himself. And in the debate, he did well. He held his own. But he is not, he is not well-versed enough in foreign affairs. And I don't know about his economics, but you would assume the guy has a pretty good grasp of economics. But foreign policy, no. And that is his weak point. So let me make the case here. Roll cut one.
Far from it. I think that the Biden administration is so stubbornly attached to the idea of getting Xi Jinping to drop Vladimir Putin. What I think we need to be doing is get Vladimir Putin to drop Xi Jinping. Just like Nixon went to China in 1972, I think Putin is like the new Mao. I will visit Moscow and I will pull Russia out of its military alliance with China. The Russia-China military alliance is the single greatest military threat that we face today.
I will visit Moscow and I will pull Russia out of its military alliance with China. Magic wand doing that? The United States is China and Russia's biggest enemy. Vivek is not going to change that. He could go I guess, to Moscow and talk to Putin. But Putin's not going to kick over China in favor of doing anything for the United States. Not going to happen. Never has happened. Okay? Now, Trump controlled Putin. I still don't know how. Trump is very cagey with me. I've asked him 50 times, what do you got on him? I think it has to do with economics, that Putin made billions of dollars, mostly in the energy realm under Trump, but I'm not sure. But Ramaswamy going over to Moscow saying, hey, Vlad, you got to pull out of China and you got to ally with the USA. That's not going to happen. And I did some research throughout history. So Putin's a dictator and he's a killer. Yeah, we all know that. I mean, there's no two sides to that story. You have to talk to him still, I understand, but he's not going to be rational. He's going to do what he wants to do. And right now he wants to give the United States a hard time. There's only been one dictator / tyrant in history that I can find, one that's ever reversed course in fostering violence and fostering trouble for the world. And that is Attila the Hun. That's how far back you have to go. So what happened there was Attila and the Huns are coming down the peninsula of Italy, heading for Rome. And Pope Leo got on a horse and rode out to meet Attila, somehow convinced him not to sack Rome, and the Huns turned around and went back to Northern Europe. That's it. Now, they tried everything they could try with Tojo in Japan, Hitler. He mentions Mao with Stalin. It never works. It never works. The only thing that works with these tyrants is violence, is the threat of violence. That's it. Nuclear deterrent. You're going to persuade the imams in Iran to stop the terrorism? How about Osama bin Laden? So this is just fantasy stuff. When I hear Ramaswamy say stuff like that, I just roll my eyes because there's just no chance that that would ever happen. Now, in his own mind, he believes that he could do it, but, you don't vote for somebody on a delusion. Okay? Now, I hope Vivek comes in here and we'll discuss this as gentlemen. But, if you could tell me one other violent tyrant in civilization that's ever stopped, I would be happy to hear that. The second soundbite, and this was again on CNN, is about Ukraine. Go.
I would freeze the current lines of control, and that would leave parts of the Donbas region with Russia. I would also further make a commitment that NATO will not admit Ukraine to NATO. But there are even greater wins that I will get for the United States in return. The top of the list. No, our goal should not be for Putin to lose. Our goal should be for America to win. That's what we have forgotten in this country, is that driving Russia into the ground is not a U.S. strategic goal.
Getting rid of Putin is a U.S. strategic goal. It's a world goal. I mean, this is a murderer. This is a guy who violates international law, goes into countries and kills women and children. He doesn't understand that? And as I made this point 1,000 times, and I'll be very brief, if you let Putin seize a quarter of Ukraine and say, okay, you can keep it, China goes into Taiwan. Right? Yeah. The only reason China hasn't gone in is because Putin's getting his butt kicked in Ukraine, which he is, and his administration's tottering right now. I have predicted that Putin will be overthrown. Okay, it's not going to be easy, but it'll happen. He doesn't have the support of the Russian people anymore. And China's watching all this. Okay, so if you are a student of history, you know that Neville Chamberlain did the same thing with Adolf Hitler. Go take Austria, go take a large chunk of Czechoslovakia. Go ahead, go take it, and then we'll have peace. Well, that's exactly what Vivek is doing. Exactly. Because Putin doesn't have to do this. Ukraine doesn't mean anything to him. And he's disrupted the whole world and slaughtered slaughtered tens of thousands of innocent civilians and displaced millions. And you're going to go over there and you're going to go, yeah, okay, all's forgiven. It just dangerous. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, the price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.